You know that feeling when you're about to make the biggest commitment of your life and everything seems perfect? That was me, the night before my wedding. I was excited, nervous, but mostly just in awe that I'd found the woman I wanted to spend my life with. I thought I knew her. I thought I understood love. I was a fool. That night, I was staying in a hotel with my best man and a few close friends. Tradition, right? The groom and bride don't see each other before the wedding. But honestly, I didn't mind. The anticipation made everything feel more real. At around midnight, I got a text from her. I love you so much. Can't wait to be your wife. It made me smile. I replied, I love you too. Just one more night. One more night before our lives were supposed to begin together. And then, one of my friends came back to the hotel room, looking pale as a ghost. He hesitated before speaking. Man, I don't even know if I should tell you this. I laughed, thinking it was some dumb bachelor party prank. What? You lose a bet? Drink too much? But he wasn't joking. It's her, man, your fiancée. She's at the bar down the street. She's not alone. I felt something in my chest tighten, but I forced a chuckle. She's probably just having a drink with her bridesmaids. No big deal. He swallowed hard. It's not her bridesmaids, man. It's a guy. I stood up so fast that Sharon nearly fell over. The other guys in the room went quiet, waiting to see what I'd do. My best man put a hand on my shoulder, trying to calm me down. Dude, don't jump to conclusions. Maybe it's just a friend. I wanted to believe that. I really did. So I grabbed my jacket and left. The place was just a couple of blocks away. A dimly lit, upscale bar. The kind of place you'd go to for one last drink before a big day. I walked in, scanning the room, heart pounding, and then I saw her, sitting in a booth near the back, leaning in close to some guy, laughing, touching his arm. She looked comfortable, not nervous, not drunk, just comfortable, like this wasn't the first time. I froze. My stomach dropped. I wanted to be wrong. Then I saw his hand slip to her thigh. She didn't stop him. Instead, she moved closer. Something inside me snapped. I pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking, but I managed to record a few seconds. Not because I needed proof, no, I didn't need anything more than my own two eyes, but because I wanted to remember this moment. The moment she threw everything away. I didn't make a scene. I could have. I wanted to. But instead, I turned and walked out. I didn't go back to the hotel. I needed air, needed to sake. The wedding was supposed to be in less than 12 hours. People were already flying in. The venue was paid for. The caterers, the flowers, the vows, all ready to go. And she had done this. I clenched my fists. I had two choices. Pretend like I didn't see anything and marry a woman who clearly didn't respect me, or do what needed to be done. I already knew the answer. Tomorrow wasn't going to be a wedding. It was going to be a reckoning. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? My mind was racing, replaying the moment over and over, her laughing, leaning into him, his hand on her thigh. I kept checking my phone, watching the short video I took, like I needed to remind myself that it was real. That the woman I was supposed to marry in just a few hours had already broken every vow before she even got the chance to say them. By the time the sun started creeping through the hotel window, I had a plan. I wasn't going to let her humiliate me quietly. No, I wanted her to feel every ounce of betrayal I felt. She deserved it. Morning of the wedding. The wedding was set for noon. By 8 a.m., guests were already getting ready. My family was texting me, and my best man was knocking on my door. Hey, man, are we doing this? I turned to face him, my jaw tight. Oh, we're doing something, but not a wedding. He hesitated. Are you sure about this? Maybe you should. I'm sure. I cut him off. She made her choice last night. Now, I'm making mine. I took a deep breath, grabbed my phone, and texted her. May, morning, beautiful. Can't wait to marry you today. I wanted her to think everything was normal. Let her walk into that ceremony thinking she got away with it. Let her feel safe before I ripped the ground out from under her. She responded within seconds. Duh, I'm so excited. I love you so much. I can't believe today is finally here. The audacity. I gritted my teeth, forcing my fingers to type a reply. Me, love you too. See you at the altar. The lies came so easily to her. But today, she was going to learn that I don't get played. By the time I arrived at the venue, everything was set up beautifully. White roses, chairs lined perfectly, a soft breeze making everything feel like a dream. It would have been the perfect wedding, except there wasn't going to be one. Guests were arriving, chatting, excited for the big moment. I greeted them, shook hands, even smiled. Nobody had any idea what was coming. Then, at 11:45 a.m., the coordinator came up to me. She's ready. We'll start in 15 minutes. I nodded. Good. Start the music. She walked down that aisle like the perfect bride, smiling, glowing, completely unaware that her world was about to crumble. I stood at the altar, waiting. When she finally reached me, she took my hands, whispering, I love you. I stared at her, my chest burning with anger, but I kept my face unreadable. Then, as the officiant cleared his throat to begin, I turned to the crowd and pulled my phone from my pocket. Before we start, I have something to share with all of you. A murmur ran through the guests. My fiancé's smile wavered. I held up my phone. Last night, while I was in my hotel room waiting for today, my beautiful bride-to-be was somewhere else. With someone else. Gasps. Whispers. Her face went pale. I hit play. The video wasn't long, just a few seconds. But it was enough. Enough to show her laughing. Enough to show his hand on her thigh. Enough to show everything. Silence. Then chaos. Her father shot to his feet, eyes wide. Guests were whispering, some looking away in embarrassment, others frozen in shock. My best man stood beside me, arms crossed, not saying a word. He didn't need to. And my fiancée? She was shaking. It's not what it looks like. Please, let me explain. I turned to her, voice ice cold. Explain what? That I caught you cheating? That you ruined everything? She grabbed my hands, desperate. It was a mistake. I had too much to drink. It didn't mean anything. I yanked my hands away. It meant enough for you to throw away our future. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't care. She didn't deserve my sympathy. You're not the woman I fell in love with. And with that, I turned and walked away. Guests erupted into whispers and shouts. Her bridesmaids rushed to her. Her family tried to do damage control. But I was done. I wasn't going to marry a woman who betrayed me. I was walking out of that wedding with my pride intact, and she was left standing there in her white dress, surrounded by the ruins of what could have been. I walked out of that wedding like a man walking away from a burning building, leaving the wreckage behind me. My chest felt like it was on fire, but I kept moving. I refused to give her the satisfaction of seeing me break. Behind me, I could hear the commotion, gasps, whispers, her crying, her mother calling my name. I didn't stop. My best man caught up with me in the parking lot. Dude, that was brutal. I exhaled sharply, hands shaking. She deserved worse. He nodded. Yeah, she did. I got into my car and drove. No destination, just away. The weight of everything hit me at once. The money wasted. The guests who traveled. The future I thought I had. Gone. Just like that. It didn't take long before my phone started blowing up. Please, just talk to me. Let me explain. Her maid of honor. She messed up. But does she really deserve to be humiliated like that? For mother, I am so disappointed in how you handle this. You should have spoken to her privately instead of making a scene. I ignored them all. Every single one. Then, I got a message that nearly made me throw my phone. The guy from the bar. Hey man, I didn't know she was engaged. She told me she was single. I stared at the screen, my grip tightening. I wanted to punch something. She hadn't even been honest with him. But that was it. That was who she was. A liar. I finally responded. You weren't the one who made vows to me. She was. Thanks for letting me know. He replied. Sorry, man. And that was that. At least he had the decency to admit it. She, on the other hand, kept trying to fix something that was beyond repair. I didn't plan to see her again. But the universe had other plans. The next morning, I went back to my place to grab some clothes. I wasn't ready to deal with everything, but I needed my space. And she was there, sitting on the steps of my apartment, eyes red, mascara streaked. She jumped up when she saw me. Please, just listen to me. I crossed my arms. Say what you need to say, then leave. She swallowed hard, hands shaking. It didn't mean anything. I laughed bitterly. You said that already. She stepped closer. I was drunk. I was stressed. I wasn't thinking. I shook my head. Drunk? You looked pretty in control. And stress? What about me? I was stressed too, but I wasn't in a bar with someone else. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Don't. Tears streamed down her face. I love you. I stared at her, my jaw tightening. Now, you love the idea of me. You love the security. You love the wedding, the attention. But you didn't love me. If you did, you wouldn't have done what you did. She shook her head frantically. It was a mistake. I exhaled slowly, then met her eyes. Now, it was a choice. She broke down, sobbing. But I felt nothing. No sympathy, no regret. Just emptiness. Finally, I said the only thing left to say. We're done. Go home. She hesitated for a second, like she wanted to argue. But then she saw it in my face. There was nothing left to fight for. She left, and I shut the door behind her, locking it. Over the next few weeks, the storm slowly settled. People talked, family members took sides, and I had to cancel everything officially. But I didn't care. One day, my best man and I sat on my balcony, drinking beers. He raised his bottle, to dodging a bullet. I clinked mine against his, to seeing the truth before it was too late. And for the first time in a long time, I actually smiled. Because yeah, she broke me. She shattered everything I thought I knew. But she also set me free. The weeks that followed were a blur of damage control. Canceling contracts, returning gifts, explaining to family and friends why the wedding never happened. Some people were on my side. Others, mostly her family, were furious that I had publicly humiliated her, as if what she did wasn't worse. But the real mess started when the news spread beyond our immediate circle. Someone, maybe one of the guests, maybe one of her bridesmaids, had posted about it online. Not the video, thankfully, but a detailed play-by-play of what happened at the altar. And it blew up. Within days, it became one of those viral breakup stories that people couldn't stop talking about. Random strangers were debating whether I was justified or if I should have handled it privately. My social media started blowing up with messages from people I didn't even know. Some were supportive. You did the right thing. A cheater on the eve of the wedding? Absolutely unforgivable. That was legendary. You exposed her like she deserved. Others, not so much. That was cruel. You could have broken it off privately instead of making a spectacle. Public humiliation isn't justice. It's just petty revenge. I ignored most of it. I didn't care what internet strangers thought, but I wasn't the only one dealing with the fallout. As much as I hated her for what she did, I didn't expect what came next. She lost a wad. Her family was furious, not at me, but at her. Her father, a man who had once shaken my hand and called me the perfect son-in-law, refused to speak to her. Apparently, he had put a ton of money into the wedding, and now it was all for nothing. Her friends split right down the middle. Some stuck by her, but others wanted nothing to do with her. They didn't want to be associated with the girl who got exposed at the altar. Then, there was her job. She worked in a fairly conservative office, and somehow word got around. Her reputation took a hit, and though she wasn't fired, she was definitely treated differently. And the guy from the bar? He ghosted her. She didn't just lose me, she lost everything. At first, I felt a tiny bit of satisfaction. She had made her bed. But the more I saw her life crumble, the more I realized something. I didn't need revenge. Life was already punishing her in ways I never could. A month after the wedding that never was, I ran into her again. I was grabbing coffee at my usual spot when I heard someone say my name. I turned and saw her standing there, looking different. Not bad, just hollow. She looked like someone who hadn't slept in weeks. Someone carrying regret like a weight on her shoulders. For a second, we just stared at each other. Then she swallowed hard. Can we talk? I could have said no. Could have walked away. But something in me wanted to hear what she had to say. So I nodded. Fine. Talk. She sat across from me, stirring a coffee she wasn't drinking. I don't expect you to forgive me. I said nothing. She sighed. I don't even know why I did it. I've asked myself it 100 times. And the truth is, I don't have an excuse. I was stupid. I was selfish. And I destroyed the best thing I ever had. She looked up at me, eyes glassy. I'm sorry. I exhaled, leaning back in my chair. You should be. She nodded, biting her lip. I regret everything. I lost you, my friends, my family. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I studied her for a long moment. Then I said, good. Her breath hitched, but I wasn't trying to be cruel. You should regret it, because what we had, it was real, and you threw it away like it meant nothing. Tears spilled onto her cheeks, but she didn't argue. She just nodded. For the first time, I saw genuine regret, but it didn't change anything. I stood up, dropping a few bills on the table. Take care of yourself. And then I walked away. I didn't hate her anymore. I didn't feel anger. I just felt free.